Hey everybody, welcome to the Parker and the Man page at yournews.com. There it is right behind me there. For another big week, hockey is back, if you can believe it. The Wings are up in Traverse City getting ready to start the preseason, which is already Wednesday against Philadelphia. We will have a Wings thing coming up for you, I believe, tomorrow right here at yournews.com on the Parker and the Man page. But obviously, after a big football weekend, you might have read the piece on Michigan and the Notre Dame game. Michigan State as well with Central Michigan, the loss there. It's happened twice before, so that's why I'm not going crazy. I've seen it happen twice with MSU and Central. The Chippewas coming into the Spartan Stadium there and beating them. Michigan, nice deal with Notre Dame. Good for Tate Forcier. It was all about Forcier and others, but Forcier was the guy. As Sean McDonough said, a new star in college football. So anyhow, if you haven't had a chance, read that too. But this is Lion stuff after that awful performance against the Saints. We've used every superlative imaginable to tell you how terrible over the last really 52 years, but speaking of out of focus, 8 years, happens all the time now. Yeah, might as well, what difference does it make? That's what the Lions were like, out of focus. Jim Schwartz admitted it. Matt Stafford admitted it. It's the way it is now. You know what? Matt Millen changed the people, changed the coaches, changed the quarterbacks, same stuff. Ford family, maybe there is some curse. I don't know. It's now 18 straight losses. 24 of 25. They've won one game since the midway point of the 07 season. Against the Saints, they've now been outscored 87 to 34 in the two games. Two of the last three games they've played have come against New Orleans. One last year at Ford Field, now one in the Superdome. They've given up 87 points in those two games. Different coach last year, different coordinators, different players, doesn't matter. Gave up more this year than the 42 they gave up last year. 45 points on Sunday. Everything was wrong. There were some things right, but in 60 minutes of football, you're going to have that. You're going to have some things. You're going to do something. Even the worst teams do that. And believe me, the Lions are the worst team. So in and out we go with the focus, but that's apropos with the way the Lions are. So just read about that. I'm not going to sit here and belabor it. They got Minnesota. They got Brett Favre coming in. They've beaten Favre, 8, 9 times. We'll get to that in Detroit between the Silverdome and Ford Field. But that's what's coming in. And Adrian Peterson, who had 180 yards rushing in the Vikings win yesterday over Cleveland. And speaking of that, so as I said, I won't dwell on it. I could do a whole radio show for you here. I could do a whole thing screaming and yelling about the Lions, but my goodness, over the last 8, 9 years, certainly since the Matt Millen era started. By the way, Matt, this goes on your record. This is another loss for you, Matt. We've screamed enough. So, Game 2 coming up next Sunday, the home opener against Minnesota. Why don't you go? There's plenty of tickets available. Plenty of sections. Go sit in the all-you-can-eat section. Devour what you can. Big NFL roundup. I actually mentioned something from every NFL game, so you can check that out as well. See what the deal is on that. Maybe it'll come back in focus for you. So every NFL game somehow, some way is mentioned in the NFL roundup. I just wanted to see how that would go since this is our first foray into the NFL seasons on yournews.com. Also on the Parker and the Man page, the column, you can read about Michigan getting into the poll. Notre Dame out, and Michigan got in. Rich Rodriguez, that's what you get for coaching at Michigan. Takes a couple of games and you can be right back in the top 25. How about the Serena Williams incident? Screaming at the lines person there, screaming at the referee with all the profanity, all the swearing over the foot fault call, which really wasn't a foot fault if you know your tennis at all. But she still could have handled that better. She was about to lose to Kim Clijsters anyhow. And what a performance, huh? Give it up to Kim. 18 months away from the game. She has a baby. The baby was with her when she got the trophy. And she becomes the third mother to win a Grand Slam title. The U.S. Open Championship for Kim Clijsters. She's probably the best in the world even while she was gone. She was already best in the world once in her life. And Serena, fined $10,000 and more penalties may be on the way. The display was just in front of all those people. In front of 20,000 people at Arthur Ashe Court Stadium there. She went nuts on the foot fault call. And something said, the tennis body, you ain't going to bite the hand that feeds them because Serena's part of that. But still, Serena was having a bad day, and it showed. Roger Federer, who had this amazing shot you've got to see in his semifinal match, goes for the championship in the men's division today. And Hung is done. Hung, done. Season 1. The show on HBO. Final episode Sunday night. Finished. And HBO says it's coming back. Of course, it was all shot here we're looking for stuff to happen in Michigan. All shot here in Metro Detroit and Commerce Township, just behind me here. Can you see right behind me there? There's the house is like right behind there. So you can read a little bit about that, and maybe I was just hung up on it. I wrote that too. Anyhow, check out the Parker and the Man page, the Wilson column for you there on the Lions lost to the Saints in Game 1. The NFL Roundup, Michigan back in the poll, first time since 2007. Kim Clijsters, say anything you want. She's a U.S. Open champion. Serena's Meltdown, and done with Season 1 of Hung on HBO. That's it. Parker and the Man page for another big week. Middle of September already. Happy navigating, people.